Delphi, the center, the belly button of the ancient world. Built on the slopes of Mount Parnassus, Delphi was the home of the great oracle of Apollo, god of the sun, and it still attracts tourists from all around the world. We reached Delphi at 9:45 p.m. on the night of the Greek Orthodox Good Friday, luckily just before the check-in deadline of our hotel, Athena. যেখানে আমাদের হোটেল সেখান থেকে প্রায় হাফ কিলোমিটার দূরে পার্কিং করতে পেরেছি। এই দূরে এইখানে আমার গাড়ি। While I was returning to my hotel, after parking the car on the streets, I noticed a lot of people gathering on the sidewalks, waiting for something. According to the customs of all Greek Orthodox Christians, Good Friday is the most solemn day of the Holy Week before Easter, a day of mourning. The one we were witnessing was the epitaph procession. The epitaph is an icon painted or embroidered on linen or silk, showing the scene of the burial of Jesus after his descent from the cross. In all Greek villages or cities, the epitaph is taken out of the church on the shoulders of priests and carried with solemnity on the streets, followed by the convoy of believers with lit candles in their hands. We went for dinner at Agora, a restaurant close to our hotel. Many tourists and locals had come to dine here. We ordered Greek salads, delicious lamb kebabs, and some local beer to relax after a long day. Good morning friends. আজকে আমরা আছি ডেলফিতে। একটা ছোট্ট বারান্দা আছে একদম রাস্তার ওপরে। এখানে পরপর একটা সরু রাস্তার ওপর হোটেল, আর পাহাড়ের মাথায় মাথায় একটা হিল স্টেশনের মতনই এখানেও ধাপে ধাপে বাড়ি ঘরদোর। Breakfast was included with the accommodation, and though very simple, it was adequate. After packing our luggage, we checked out from our hotel. The streets of Delphi have a hill station charm. Nice houses on narrow streets, stacked with cars parked alongside. Last night, we really didn't understand Delphi is such a beautiful place. আমরা অলমোস্ট চলে এসেছি ডেলফির আর্কিওলজিক্যাল মিউজিয়ামের সামনে। ইউজুয়ালি খুব টায়ার্ড হয়ে যাই আমরা এর মধ্যে 9 দিন টানা ঘোরার পর, কিন্তু সেই তুলনায় এবারে অতটাও টায়ার্ড হয়নি যতটা অন্যবার হই। আজকে একদম কড়া রোদ আর বেশ গরমই বলবো, খুব একটা ঠান্ডা হাওয়াও দিচ্ছে না। Is it a beagle?
Yes, it is a big one. They're like 15 years old.
Oh,
It's still young, just got out of its 5 years.
The entrance fee to the Delphi Archaeological Museum is €12 per person. Inside, it was a different world altogether. Before 1892, the ruins of Delphi were unknown and people used to live on top of the historic site itself. But once the French started the excavation and found the historic treasure of Delphi, people from all over the world came to know the real wealth of this place. Following the map, it takes about 2 to 3 hours to cover all the sites. The Roman Agora or Roman Forum, a marketplace located near the south entrance to the site. During the Roman era, goods were made here and sold to pilgrims. Roman imperial statues were also sculpted here. This part of Delphi dates back to the 4th century AD when the Romans refurbished the Agora. It is the only part of the area which was not converted to private buildings of the medieval Kastri village. The treasury of the Athenians is one of the better preserved monuments of the Apollonian sanctuary. Dedicated to Apollo Pythios, this white marble temple-like building was built to commemorate either the establishment of democracy in Athens or the Athenian victory against the Persians at the Battle of Marathon. It served as a treasury for the Athenian offerings to Apollo. According to Greek mythology, Zeus released 2 golden eagles in different directions. At the point where these 2 eagles met, Zeus threw a stone that landed in Delphi, and that is believed to be this conical stone known as the Omphalos, considered the center of the ancient world. This is the polygonal wall, built as a retaining wall to support the terrace that houses the temple of Apollo platform. The stones seem to be precisely cut and polished using sophisticated tools, but no evidence of such machinery exists. An engineering marvel the way they were built without any use of mortar or cement. And then, we arrived at the most famous site in all of Delphi, the home of the Oracle, the place which has attracted pilgrims and tourists from all over the world. তো এই আমার ঠিক পেছনে এইখানে টেম্পল অফ অ্যাপোলো দেখা যাচ্ছে। তো এটা একটা মেজর সাইট যেটা এই পুরো ডেলফি আর্কিওলজিক্যাল মিউজিয়ামের মধ্যে one of the most important sites. The temple of Apollo, the god of music, harmony and light, occupied the most important and prominent position of the Delphic sanctuary. The edifice with the partially restored colonnade visible today is dated to the 4th century BC and is the 3rd temple built at the same place. According to the prevailing story, the famous oracle operated inside the temple where a chasm emitted vapors. These were inhaled by Pythia, the high priestess, who entered a state of delirium, uttering inarticulate cries. These were then interpreted by the priests and turned into equivocal oracles. It became so influential that no great leader would make a major decision without first consulting the oracle. প্রচুর চড়াই এই রাস্তায়, পুরো পাহাড় কেটে এই জিনিস বানানো হয়েছিল। The best preserved monument of this site, the Theatre of Delphi, testifies to the intellectual and cultural acme of Apollo's sanctuary. It was constructed in the 4th century BC at an amphitheatrical location with a magnificent view of the valley of the Pleistos River. The Delphic Theatre hosted the musical and dramatic contests of the Pythian Games and other religious festivals, and it had a capacity of 5,000 people. During the Delphic festival in May 1927, the theatre hosted a performance of an ancient Greek tragedy. It was the first time in modern Greek history that an ancient theatre was reused and an ancient Greek drama was revived. কোথায় একটা বাঁশি বাজছে, আর আমরা চড়াই উঠেই চলেছি। একটু ছায়া দেখলেই মনে হয় দাঁড়িয়ে পড়ি।
এরকম গরম বোধে বৃষ্টিতে আর লাগেনি
না, এই প্রথম এরকম গরম। The Stadium of Delphi hosted the athletic contests of the Pythian religious festival. Initially, in the 5th century BC, a racing track was formed by leveling the ground, and the spectators would sit on the ground. The gallery, built by the Romans in the 2nd century AD, had marble seats with a capacity of 7,000 spectators. The Pan-Hellenic Pythian Games were second in importance only to the Olympic Games. Archaeological site থেকে বেরিয়ে just 100 meter এগোলেই Temple of Pronaia. The sanctuary of Athena Pronaia was the first a pilgrim would encounter while arriving by land from the east. The primary attraction is the remains of Tholos, a masterpiece of ancient Greek architecture due to its rich sculpted decoration, polychromy, and fine craftsmanship. The circular edifice, built of white marble, consisted of 20 Doric columns on the outer colonnade, 3 of which were restored in the 1930s. The archaeological site of Delphi is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, owing to its outstanding universal value of a cultural or natural property, deserving protection for the benefit of all humanity. ডেলফি টাউনে ফিরে আমরা একটু খেতে বসেছি এবং অদ্ভুত সুন্দর একটা জায়গায়, একদম একটা ভিউ পয়েন্টের পাশে। এখানে অর্ডার করলাম 2টো কোক, একটা জাইরোস চিকেন, আর প্রবাবলি তারপরে একটু আইসক্রিম খাবো, কারণ এখানে আইসক্রিমগুলো দেখে ব্যাপক লোভ লেগেছে। চলে এসছে জাইরোস চিকেন, আর তার সঙ্গে পিটা ব্রেড আর 2টো অমৃতের গ্লাস কোকা কোলা। একটা বন্ধ জুয়েলারি শপ, তাতে আমরা দেখলাম একটা জ্যান্ত বিড়াল বসে রয়েছে। It was time for our return after probably the best 10 days of our life. Greece has a plethora of places to offer, and if you have loved our Greece travelogues, we are sure that you would certainly plan to travel this country sometime in your life. And if you have loved this series, please subscribe to our channel for future videos. Like the video and share them. It would certainly encourage us to create more content and bring them to you.